A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. On the show tonight, we will monitor the transfer day deadline. Very interesting. We'll talk about the deals that are already been done and the ones that could cross the line tonight. We'll look at all of that. We'll talk about the domestic league, that's Nigeria Professional Football League. We'll look at matches played and matches yet to be played. We'll look at Group A and Group B as the outlook of the show tonight. We'll also give you some other sports. We'll try to talk about it. And we'll also look at Nigeria's involvement in the transfer deadline day. What are Nigerian players doing? Where are they moving to? Some are staying put, some are moving. We'll talk about all of that, all for you on the show. As you already know, I don't do this alone. My partner is ready, Austin Okona Akman, as we take a look at everything happening in the, in the world of sports. Very interesting world of sports. And so, Austin, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with me on the show.
What's a greetings to you, Yemi, and our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. Always an action-packed world of sports. In fact, for today, it's a fast-paced world of sports because it's transfer deadline day, and a lot of clubs are, trying to conclude those deals, do it with speed, and there's still some signings. Don't also forget, right here in England, we're monitoring the second leg of the EFL Cup. It's Newcastle taking on Southampton. Newcastle with a slim advantage from the first leg. We're hearing talks about Super Eagles striker Paul Onuachu joining the Saints. So that will, get into the conversation. And of course, Terry Murphy also in the transfer deadline day news. So much to talk about on the show tonight. Let's go, Yemi.
All right. Good, Austin, for setting the tone for us on the show. And of course, we also have our guest in the Lagos studio. We'll all try to have a robust conversation on all the things happening in your fast-paced and, entertaining world of sports. Let me go straight to bring in our guest into the picture as we take a look at the things happening in the world of sports. All right, Kehinde Idris joins us now as we take a look at everything happening in the world of sports. Good to see you, Kehinde. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight. A lot of interesting things happening. We're looking at what is likely going to be record British transfer. We're looking at it. It might cross the line on while we're still on the show. We'll see what happens. But let's quickly talk about this as we try to put our ducks in a row. Let's talk about Nigeria's powerlifting heavyweight. That's Kennedy Wampa. He has called for adequate attention to the development of the sport in the country. Wampa says Nigeria has the potentials and talents to dominate continental and international powerlifting championship. He added that he has signed a memorandum of understanding with the international body of powerlifting to stage national youth championships and African championships later this year. As you can see, the Imo State-born bodybuilder won 3 gold and 1 silver at the international championship in Tennessee, United States in July last year. He's been talking a lot and paid a courtesy visit to Channels TV, and of course he had a few things to say. Let's listen to him, then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Powerlifting is a very different sport, a sport that can change the life of the youth in any country. In the developed countries, you find out many youth there are so involved themselves in sports, in different sports, like powerlifting and bodybuilding. I also a bodybuilder. I compete very well, I won a lot of medals, a lot of trophies in bodybuilding championship. And our own sport is natural. Because if they dope you, they find out they had drugs in you, they ban you for 10 years. Powerlifting sports international is natural. Bodybuilding is something natural, my brother, So I have done well in these 2 sports. Flying Nigerian flag single-handedly for over 20-something years of my life. Last year, I went to America to defend my title in America in the International Powerlifting Championship, which I came back with 3 gold and 1 silver. See the golds on my neck. See the champion of the powerlifting. So I came back with 3 gold and 1 silver from United States of America. Bodybuilding have over 12 international world body, which I am affiliated to almost 6 or 7 for Nigeria. So then they agree that what I have done in bodybuilding is great. So they want me to come and sign that MOU without minding the counterpart fund, you know. I should come and sign it, then they want to come to Africa, Nigeria. Definitely by November this year, they're going to be in Africa, Nigeria. By then, not only me is going to compete in Nigeria, I'll make sure most of the bodybuilders, you know, that have been training with me, the youth, I will group them to make sure, I'll make sure because it's my country. You cannot tell them that they are not a pro, they cannot compete. I will do it in a way that is an honor that my country, I want 10 people from my country to compete, to be in a platform, in the stage, you know, to compete with others coming from outside the country. Ladies are there, figure ladies, bodybuilding ladies, they are coming.
All right, that's it, Kennedy, talking about the potentials that Nigeria has and what can be done and what could be achieved if we get things right. And so, very interesting. We're going to focus more. I'm going to get the guys in. Austin is actually ready as well to pitch in with his thoughts, and I'll throw my hat in the ring to talk about. We've always talked about Nigeria being we are just naturally talented. When Nigerians are natural athletes, just bring any sport, give us 2-3 weeks, and before you know, you start seeing world beaters emerge in any sport. And of course, won't just leave this here. We'll take it up and we'll see how far we can go with it. And hopefully the authorities are listening, and they will be able to, hopefully they should be able to provide you know, the kind of opportunities for, you know, talents to emerge. So, kind of, Idris, let's just get back into it. I'm very sure Austin will join in. But, I mean, you listen to the powerlifter there who's done so well for himself and so well for Nigeria, and he reiterates what we've always been saying, actually, that Nigeria can produce world beaters in any sport, but in this case, powerlifting.
Yes, and on the show last week, we talked about weightlifting, which you can also, you know, put juxtaposed to powerlifting. You know, it's all on the same pedestal. And what we talked about last week is the fact that, you know, this sport needs more support. This sport has the potential to grow. The president was also on the show and all of that. You know, we saw the trainings of, you know, these athletes, weightlifters and all. We knew from even those visuals that they need, you know, a lot more for them to, you know, get to that level. We're also going back to what happened at Birmingham, where, you know, they broke a lot of record, you know, clinched some, you know, wins and all of that. And we wanted that to continue. Paris 2024 is just around the corner. There are a lot of breakdown competitions this year. And this is the same thing Kennedy is now talking about. Do you know one of the pains somebody like Kennedy Wankpa has is the fact that they've gone out there, they've seen it, they've lived there. They see how weightlifters are adored. They see how they are supported. They see how they get everything. The moment they ask for it, they get it. And that is pain. You look at, okay, here I'm a second-class citizen. I can hardly get the same thing a citizen would get, talking about support. Why can't I get that in my own country? It's as basic as that. And that is the pain for such man. Look at the way he's happy that he competed under the flag of Nigeria, got all of these, you know, flags and all of these medals and all. And he wants to continue, you know, to fly it high, to make sure Nigeria's flag is hoisted that high. But so many times, what happens at home just gets you and you just want to burst out. And I think talking is, you know, his own way of busting out. Some will go in the way of controversy. They will get into the news for all of the wrong reasons, you know, calling out names and all of that. But he didn't do that. He looked for the right platform to hear his opinion, to hear what he feels inside. And that is what, you know, we just heard. As cool as he is making his statement, we know how deep it is.
Yeah.
And it happens to every sport. Even the one we concentrate all our energy on, football. Ask me, is this how football is run outside here? No. So every sport is suffering. Until we get it right, we'll start to see. And you mentioned that if you give Nigerians 2-3 weeks into any sport, you'll see them triumph. Ask me about flag ball. When it came, I was surprised to see that there are athletes waiting for flag ball to exist in Nigeria.
All too familiar story. And but this is hoping that I mean, in 2023 we'll not be having these kinds of conversations. We'll be talking about conversations around how many world beaters we now have, and how that we've made the jump from discovering talents to nurturing them to stardom, and also having that ladder that helps us to keep the conveyor belt going and discovering talents, nurturing them to stardom, and just doing it over and over and over and over. All right, let's move on the show. Let's talk football now. As well, a lot of people say he's the king of sports, and really nobody argues when that is being said. Let's take a look at the Nigeria Professional Football League. Of course, we'll get it on the screen for you. Let's take a look at what happened on match day 4. Let's take a look at match day 4. We'll take a look at the results. Kehinde Idris will give us his thoughts, and hopefully we should be able to get our man in as well. And that's it on your screen. Let's quickly run through what we have. Kehinde Idris. So these are match day 5 fixtures, but actually we'll get to the point where we should be having the match day 4 results. But Kehinde Idris, while we are at it, we're going to that's it. So let's start with Group A. Benel Insurance, of course, defeated Remo Stars 3-0. Eimba had 3-0 victory over Kwara United. Gombe United played a 1-1 draw with Nasarawa United. Shooting Stars also pipped El Kanemi Warriors 1-0. Aqua United defeated Plateau United 1-0. Kehinde Idris, your thoughts quickly on this result. We'll get to the next fixtures, but Group A, your thoughts quickly.
Amazing, battles going down in Group A. We saw 1 and 2 go up against each other, Bendel Insurance and Remo. We saw 3 and 4 right, before match day 4, which was Aqua United and Plateau. And Aqua United settled the Bendel Insurance, coasting as in brimming hot. But not seeing them coming. Eimba won 3-0 and then just usurped Aqua United and Plateau United to now sit in third. So we have Bendel Insurance, Remo, and Aqua United. And I'm loving what is happening there. And Shooting Stars also getting their first win this season. Kwara United, after that loss, coach under fire, under a lot of questioning and all of that. So it's building into something very lovely. And I'm loving what every team is bringing. But of everything, I'm loving the fact that officiating, referees are becoming more comfortable to officiate whichever way they should officiate. I mean the right way, the objective way. And also teams are not scared to play the way they should play, not minding whether it's home or away.
All right, because of time, let's quickly go to Group B. You have Lobby Stars defeating Bayelsa United 3-0. Sunshine Stars beat Habia Warriors 1-0. Niger Tornadoes and Rangers played out a goalless draw. And of course, Dakada lost to Rivers United. Wiki Tourists, that's the story. Yeah. Wiki Tourists and Doma United played a goalless draw. And now there's the first managerial casualty of the season. We'll talk about him later on the show. Kabiru Dogo has left his post as the Wiki Tourists manager. But your thoughts on this one as well?
Yeah. Rangers United, who would get all of my, attention for all the wrong reasons. Rangers are sitting in the relegation zone. Yes, they are not at the bottom. Wiki Tourists sits at the bottom, and that is why the coach, starts to get the seat starts to get hot. For Lobby Stars, I'm loving what they are doing. Just keep it fresh. Just keep it in there. Just continue to run right. But Rivers United, taking it up from where they started last season. I think everything Rivers United just want to do in this first phase is get into the playoffs, get into the Super 6, and then you would now display what you can do. They are not, it's not like it's a blow away for so many of their games, but they are getting the needed results, and they are sitting at the summit right about this time. So Sunshine Stars, Rivers United, not doing badly. Doma, I'm liking the fact that promoted teams are not also, just coming there, lay down for teams to roll over them. No, they are fighting. I want to see that fight continues. I don't know how Rangers will get themselves out of this, but I'm quick to be reminded that it's still 4 match days. So we still have a lot of match days, but this is an abridged season. Whatever you're not starting now, if you start later, it might be too late.
All right. Also, let's talk about the first managerial casualties. What we want to talk about right now. Let's talk about Kabiru Dogo. He has resigned from his post as the coach of Wiki Tourist Football Club. And of course, he's been at loggerheads with the fans and the management of the club over their recent poor form. Kehinde Idris alluded to that as well. The former Nasarawa United Sunshine Stars boss becomes the first managerial casualty of the season. Did this come as a surprise to you?
At all. What I just said now, everybody understands this is not a 38 games format season. This is a season where you play less.
You have to get it right
You have
quickly.
to get it right from the start, and that is why teams like Bendel Insurance, Remo Rivers, are all doing what is right. You get it right now, you get into the playoffs, and then you can start to flex your muscle. But you have to go through this first phase, and that is what wiki tourists are not doing. It wasn't only wiki tourists that had, this kind of situation. Also, Kwara United had, their coach on his toes after that loss to Eyimba, which ended 3-0. And then I guess Dogo felt this is too much, the whole back and forth on the old talk. And then there was that letter we saw with too much ultimatum that if you don't do well in the next 2 games, you're going to be fired. But some people prefer to say, I resign instead of being fired. So wiki tourists are in search of a coach for Dogo. He's a season that he couldn't, get his tactics together and get the team to doing well. But there is always something. There will be that team at the bottom, and this is what happens when you're that team at the bottom. In-house, rocking, talking about issues. The coach are always the first casualty. You hardly can just say players should leave. The coaches are always the first casualty, and then the management feels, get somebody better, let's get on moving. But I don't know how wiki tourists will get themselves out of this, because a new coach will start his own tactics in a season that is coming thick and fast. Because midweek games, weekend game, midweek games, weekend games, these games are coming very fast. And then when the FA Cup joins up, hey, you're getting no rest at all. And I don't know how a new coach will grasp it, except maybe somebody who is already part of the family that will just come in and then, take it from where, Dogo left it. Somebody who is already part of the terrain. If you're bringing somebody from outside, I think that will be a thorough struggle. And before you know it, the season is gone, you're already relegated. So, it's a tough one for wiki tourists. And then Dogo leaving, I think it makes it even tougher.
All right.
Probably with Dogo, there might just be a little bit of a management. But with Dogo leaving, I think it will be a tough one. Wiki tourists are not in a good place right now. And funny enough, it's one of those teams I have affiliations with. I served in Bauchi right there, where they love their team so much. So, it's
no
a big worry.
room?
It's a big worry.
All right.
It's a big worry.
Okay, so let's quickly, with the time we have left before we go on a break, let's quickly take a look at match day 5 and show you the fixtures. It's going to come up on your screen any moment from now. But also kind of interesting fixtures as well in that one. Let's go to Group A, where we have, and of course, you're going to keep your responses very short so that we can go on the break as soon as we can. That's why United will take on Plateau United, Kwara United will take on Aqua United, Remo Stars up against Eyimba, El Kanami Warriors up against Bendel Insurance, Gombe United up against Shooting Stars. So these are some of the fixtures. Let's go to Group B quickly and take a look at Group B. These are the ones in Group A. Bayelsa United will take on Doma United. You have Rivers United up against Wiki Tourists. We're going to have to see how they're going to fare without Kabiru Dogo. Rangers International will be up against Dakar. Abia Warriors will be up against Niger Tornadoes. Lobi Stars will take on Sunshine Stars. These are the fixtures. Can you run through this in a minute? Let's go back to A. We'll see what's there. But your thoughts?
Yes, I'll just pick, games quickly. Kwara United against Aqua. I think Aqua will continue that good run. Kwara in a worrying situation. I don't know how they will handle themselves, but I think Aqua will get it for Remo Stars versus Eyimba. This is the game for me. I don't know how Remo will respond after that 3-0. For Eyimba, they are coasting and they're already seeing light. So it will be a very, very good game. El Kanemi Warriors against Bendel Insurance. I'm rooting for Bendel. I love when teams do the right thing. So I think they will get this one. For Gombe versus Shooting Stars, Shooting Stars will want to complement what happened in the last game where they beat El Kanemi, their first win. They will want to get their second win. So those are some of the, selected games in Group A. So going to Group B, also selected game Bayelsa against Doma United. Like I said, Doma newly promoted, also a privately owned team. I want to see them continue the good run. Not like, some of the teams at the top, but they are having it not bad. Also, Rivers United versus Wiki Tourists. I think Rivers will continue their good run. Just continue to bury Wiki right there. Then Rangers versus Dakar. Rangers, I think this is a huge chance to get something to pull you out of the relegation zone. So these are some of the games. There's also Lobi Sunshine, Abia Warriors, Niger Tornadoes. But those games I mentioned are games that will have my full attention.
All right. Okay. I guess it's good to leave it there. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll talk about transfer deadline day. We'll also talk about Nigerian footballers. What are they up to? What are they doing? And what's likely going to happen in a few hours from now before the window closes. I'm going to be doing that all for you when we return from this break. Welcome back. Of course, we're still talking sports and all the things happening in your fast-paced, money-spinning world of sports. All right, so I guess I can say better late than never. Austin is with us now, and of course, we got our ducks in a row. And well, it's good to finally hear your voice now. You heard us talking about the domestic league, so I guess I have to yield the floor to you to get your thoughts. You can take us back to the results and piggyback to the fixtures as well.
Yeah, I think it was a good week, week 4 in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Rivers United telling us, look, we have the quality to retain our title. Bendel Insurance saying, look, we know the football league in Nigeria, we're a traditional football side, still unbeaten after that impressive performance against Remo Stars 3-0 they won. Big win for 3SC, recording their first win of the season. Good win also for Sunshine Stars, recording their first win of the season. Aqua United needed to show quality to record their second win of the season. But interestingly, Rangers are still winless after 4 matches, and that's beginning to, put on the warning signs of what's going on. This is the Flying Antelopes. This is Rangers that comes with all the quality, that comes with all the prestige. You start wondering what's going on with them this season. So, for Aimba, I said it over and over again that they understand what it means to play an abridged league season in Nigeria. And no surprises that the People's Elephants are powering on, but so much to worry for Rangers. And we're hoping that on match day 5, they will pick themselves back up. And that's why everyone is looking forward to that next fixture. I also would like to see what Kwara United will do against Aqua United. Let's see who wants, that one, big time. But for Rangers and Dakada lost to Rivers United in their last home match. Rangers need to, pick themselves back up by doing all they can to pick a win against Dakada. But hey, this is the Nigeria Premier Football League. This is an abridged season. This is a season where a lot of mentality will come to play. So Rangers need to start showing that, otherwise they will put their league season into a serious struggle.
All right, any special picks from match day 5 in terms of the fixtures?
Maybe Gombe United and Shooting Stars for me, and as I mentioned earlier, Aqua United. Just about those two, maybe Bendel Insurance. Can they still stay unbeaten? Pressure is on them now, but they look focused. This is part of what we're talking about, that when you take care of your football team, they will give you the results. A shout out to the Edo State government. We always say we see what Philip Shaibu and the team does for that team, and maybe it's payback time. So I'd like to see what Gombe United will do against Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars, after recording their first win of the season, we need to show some level of consistency. I like Abia Warriors just because they're that sort of team that they're very adventurous, in open play, and they don't respect any team. What can they do against Niger Tornadoes? It's a very tricky fixture that can end in a goalless draw or the 1-1 draw, but Abia Warriors might just show the quality needed to win it. Wiki Tourists are struggling, and they just took Kabru Dogo to leave. But Rivers United, with their supremacy and form at the moment, definitely that they're going to sweep Wiki Tourists away, unless football will give us something that will shock all of us here.
All right. Let's. I'm tempted to jump straight into transfer deadline day because it's very exciting.
Yeah.
But of course, from your hand, talk us through, and Kende Idris is with us as well. Talk us through the FA Cup, the fixtures, some matchups still yet to be decided because you have some teams still waiting for who would be their opponents. But talk us through the FA Cup.
Before I get into the FA Cup, let me just give you a quick update. Remember, the second leg of the EFL Cup is being played. Newcastle taking on Southampton. And what a story. It's already looking sweet for the Magpies. It's Newcastle 2, Southampton 0. And it's even sweeter because it's their homeboy, one of theirs, local lad, Sean Longstaff, that got the brace for Newcastle. So it's looking like they're just going to cruise into the final of the EFL Cup. Let's get into the fifth round fixtures. in the FA Cup. Leicester City waiting to know who they will play because Blackburn and Birmingham, that game still to be decided. Stoke City will take on Brighton. You saw the story of what Brighton did to Liverpool. Brighton, whenever they see Liverpool now, they just come out. They don't come out to play football. They just come out to thrash Liverpool. So it's Stoke City going against Brighton. We're waiting to get that confirmation if it's Wrexham or Sheffield United that will play Tottenham Hotspur in a 5th round. Will it be Fulham or Sunderland going against Leeds United? We're still waiting for that confirmation. Bristol City will take on Manchester City that defeated Arsenal by a single goal to make it to the 5th round. Nathan Ake with that only goal for Pep Guardiola's team. Manchester United, they were dominant in their 4th round fixture, and so they will be playing West Ham in the 5th round while we're waiting to see if it's going to be Ipswich or Burnley going on against Sheffield Wednesday or Fleetwood, Yemi.
All right, very interesting. Austin just reeled out the fixtures for us, but for the sake of our viewers, of course, we would like to see some of the things that he just talked about. That's it right there on your screen. Austin had already gone through all of this, so no need to have it all repeated again, but it's interesting. Kane Idris, I want to get your thoughts when we get back to Austin. It'll take us through the transfer deadline day. A lot of people have been saying great things about Brighton.
Yeah.
They've sold their best players. They're still ahead of Liverpool and Chelsea on the league table.
Yeah.
They have good money in the bank from sales of some of their top quality
players to top clubs also.
To top clubs,
Yes.
yet they're still topping some of those top clubs.
Some even say they sold their best player when they sold their coach, because it was like the fulcrum of that team, talking about Graham Potter. So it's a good side. Already was seeing that when Maupay left and so many other, players. Now we're understanding, Trossard just left for Arsenal also. So probably we should start taking them very seriously. And I'm liking that story they are writing against Stoke City. Stoke are one of those teams in the Championship that can shock any Premier League side because of their experience. But I've got games that, I would love to see. Man City, Bristol City. I just want to see how Man City continues to coast. Manchester United, West Ham, definitely I want to see that. But I think for me, no disrespect or no bias thinking towards Sunderland, I would love to see Fulham against Leeds United. There is always something about, seeing two Premier League teams go up against each other. It's a cup, so you expect a totally different result from what you will see in the league. So I would love to see that amongst every other fixture that is on this, on the list right there. So, interesting matchups, and I would just love to see those ones I mentioned, really.
All right, let's get back to Austin. He's taking us on a journey. Austin, let's quickly talk about Manchester United. Of course, they're going to be the EFL tomorrow. Ten Hag has been speaking. But your thoughts as Manchester United prepare for what some people are thinking is a dead rubber, but in football, it's not a dead rubber as long as there's still 90 minutes to play.
But come on, it looks like that is done and dusted after winning 3-0. And, where United is at the moment, they won a trophy in that cabinet. And Ten Hag has said that's the major, objective for them at this moment. They're preparing for the second leg. I don't think it's going to be a worry for Ten Hag and Manchester United because they did everything that they needed to do in the first leg, but I totally agree with you that in football anything can happen. But let's take a quick listen to Erik ten Hag. He's been reacting ahead of that EFL Cup game.
But I think you can never feel that because every player has his own characteristics and identity. So another player will always fill it in a different way. But that doesn't mean that you have to be less successful. But it's quite clear that Christian Eriksen, that is for our squad, this brings top quality, and especially he has some specifics what is hard to replace. And for instance, his impact in the final third, final ball. He's playing together with Casemiro in Brazilian squad. I would say that's not the worst squad in the world, and they have so many choices what they can make, but they often prefer to play them together. So that tells something about the quality Fred has and what he can contribute to the team, and that he did it all several times. When I see his performance, for instance, against Tottenham Hotspur, for instance, against Manchester City. When he's coming on last game, straight score goal. So he has a lot of qualities, and I think they are a really good combination, Casemiro and Fred.
I agree with him. Casemiro has been fantastic for Manchester United this season, but Nottingham Forest. I mean, they have nothing to lose if they come all out to give their best against Manchester United tomorrow. But 3-0 win for Manchester United in the first half, in the first leg, just makes it so difficult. If I pass it over to Kende Idris, quick updates. It's now Newcastle 2, Southampton 1. I know this one will go all the way, but we'll wait to see.
We just want to see it being competitive, but for some reasons of having a very formidable final, I think Newcastle would be more of a game for Manchester United in the final than Southampton. But with what Southampton do to Man City, I think nobody can really bet against them. It's open. I think everybody who loves to watch football left this game as open as possible. After the first leg, which ended 1-0, we still want to see another 90 minutes. And Newcastle did themselves a whole lot of good, scoring 2 goals. Going up 2 goals, and in the later part of the game, this 2-goal cushion might just probably they will get one more to just open up the gap and all of that. For Manchester United already, it seemed like it's already done and dusted, but there's still 90 minutes to play, like Yemi said.
All right.
But Newcastle, I'm already having having my thoughts in that they are in the final, and then to play Manchester United,
Okay.
and I think that will be a good final.
All right, I won't try to bust your bubble. We have just a few minutes to go, so let me go to you straight before me and Austin just say our parting shots on the show. 3 transfers to talk about, many, but our producer picked out 3. First, Terence Murphy, joins French side Nice, Super Eagles forward. Bayern Munich, this one surprised me. I didn't see it happen. Cancelo, of all players to allow go. Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola allowing Cancelo. I don't understand why this happened. Then, of course, Jorginho becomes the 4th Chelsea player that I can remember in recent times to leave that side to come to Arsenal. In a minute, your reaction to some of those transfers.
I think for Terence Murphy, it's been a long time coming from Lorient going to Nice. I think it's a step, from where he is, a step higher. So I want to see him do well at Nice and then grow, go into bigger clubs. Even if he's in and around the French league, I think that would be fantastic. He's been banging goals, so it's a good one. For João Cancelo, in recent time, Nico Williams has been getting the nod from, Pep Guardiola. Probably you might say this is a pointer to João Cancelo, having been excluded from the team. And there is something, as much as I've questioned some of his decisions, when Pep Guardiola starts to push you away or starts to put you on the bench, when you leave, a season or two, we'll start to, agree with Pep that you're already getting to that point where you're winding down. So maybe this is another pointer, but we'll wait and see what he does at Bayern. For Jorginho, I think this is, I don't know, maybe I'll call it a coup, because
good move.
Yes, what Arsenal wants now, I'm sure the coach and the management sat and discussed that. Maturity, experience. Somebody in another 3-4 months that can help manage the situation. He's not coming to be the star man in the Arsenal team, but do those jobs where you understand this period. It will come
a person with a good football mind.
Good football, exactly.
All right. I have to stop you there because of our time. Austin, your thoughts on those transfers? Then, of course, our parting shot tonight.
I think Kende Idris did a good job with those transfers. Let's just give updates on Enzo Fernandez. Will that deal happen for Chelsea? Record-breaking move, £115 million if that deal is accepted. I tell you that figure, gets us stuttering right here in the United Kingdom. We'll talk about it. Also, the Women's Super League is getting people talking. Arsenal wants to sign Russo from Manchester United for £500,000. Women's Super League got everyone talking, but Manchester United said they're not giving it to Arsenal. So let's balance it all. Talk about the men. Let's also know that the women are also making waves. Barcelona wanted her also. She's been on fire for Manchester United, but Manchester United said no. Arsenal improved their bid. Manchester United still saying no. But waiting to see if the Enzo deal will be done. We hear that medicals are already concluded in Portugal. A staggering fee. Gracious goodness, hear me. I don't know.
All right. Makes you wonder if we're in the right business. But anyway.
I know. And for Terry Murphy, quickly, people are wondering why are you leaving sixth place Laurent to Nice that is placed eighth. He's on fire, and there's an obligatory 30 million euro clause on that. So at the end of the day, Terry Murphy and Laurent, they are actually going to gain from this deal. So safely to say it's all about the money. That's where we can leave it tonight, hear me. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, Kennedy, just want to thank you for your time talking about so much money. Hopefully some of them will end up in our pockets. But we'll do this again some other time.
Of course we will, and I'm looking forward to another already.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope you enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.